Alrighty, Hudson. Hope you're doing well, man. Want to get this video out to you just for you to kind of see. I'm going to play Josh Young's mechanics below you. This is the guy who you said is very similar to your mechanics, so I kind of want to break your mechanics down, compare them to Josh Young, and then we can go on from there, kind of comparing your mechanics, what our next steps are, and kind of what's next in the pipeline, if you will. So let's look at these side by side, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so very first thing that we're going to start with is going to be your base, okay? Specifically, let me actually do this circle. All right, that's actually not what I want. So we're going to focus on this foot right here. I'm not sure why they changed up the app a little bit, but I want to focus on this foot. So take a look at your foot comparatively to Josh Young. So we see Josh Young, if I were to undo, we get into this position, right? Versus if you see your foot, you're opened up, right? And what happens whenever this occurs, you're going to see Josh Young's hips. Notice how his hips stay closed through his swing, right? Versus our hips right here are wide open, right? So what this front foot does, and let me kind of break down both foots and their whole purpose, okay? So your front foot is your anchor foot, right? What we talked about in our lesson, and we did kind of the drill where you're able to kind of see what happens when you put that weight on the ball of your foot comparatively to any other part of our foot. Because what's going to happen is when we put our foot right here, like how Josh Young does, this keeps tension on our hips, right? That we cannot over-rotate, right? They are going to keep close through our swing, and they're going to allow us to get the most power possible, right? Versus when we do this, what you're going to notice is that you're going to spin out towards this way, right? So what happens is whenever we're faced like this, our hip can just go at free will, right? It has nothing that's resisting going the whole way through, right? So you'll see a lot of guys when they're opening up too much. A lot of times the problem is their front foot and the back, and number one, the weight distribution, but number two, also the direction of it, okay? So that's one of the things that we worked on during our lesson of kind of what we're working on. The additional thing that I want to show you real quick is I want you to take a look at your elbow real quick, okay? So if you notice with your elbow, what's happening is that it gets here, right? And it connects right, so it starts here and it connects finally here, right? Versus we see Josh Young's elbow connects it towards the back, right? So the whole goal is connection to extension, right? Because a lot of times what happens when we lead with our elbow, our barrel's behind, right? And there's one of two things that can happen. Either we're going to hit it opposite field, or in order to get back on time, we're going to flick our wrist, okay? And both of those are not going to result in a ball in play that we want, right? Or rather, it's not going to be the result we're looking for. So that was something that we were going to work on a little bit and continue to work on. One thing you do pretty well in your swing overall, Hudson, is you keep really good job behind the ball here, which is perfect. Really, the biggest things for you, Hudson, is going to be your bottom half here. I'm okay with this bat waggle because it's not causing you to fully drop your hands, right? A lot of guys, what this does, Hudson, is as soon as they have like a bat waggle, it's immediately going to drop your hands down, right? And then there's one of two things you can either do. You can either come up and hit a pop fly, or you come down and hit one into the ground, right? So what we see with Josh Young, if we take a look at his mechanics, right? This is exactly what we're supposed to do with our back foot. This is exactly what we're supposed to do with our front foot, right? Our back foot is used as, I like to call it, the action foot. And the action foot is used in order to allow our hips to rotate, right? We talk about this position, right? Right here. This is that block position that we were working on in our lesson. Essentially what it is there is between here and here, if I were to also put, let's just say strings right here, right? So it's just like if it was a rubber band, right? Whenever you pull the rubber band back, there's tension. As soon as you let go of it, there becomes momentum and power, right? That's what we're looking for in our swing. So what happens a lot with your swing, Hudson, is that everything goes at the exact same time, right? So there's a lot of power loss, right? When we see this, we see everything's moving simultaneously with one another, right? Whereas if you see with Josh Young, his hips go before his shoulders, which causes tension, which creates power in his swing, okay? So those are a couple things that we're going to continue to work on. The biggest thing that we're going to work on is your bottom half, because that's kind of the big point to continue to work on. I do overall like your top half a lot, Hudson. I think it's pretty solid. The big thing for you, though, is going to be working in your bottom half. That's going to be the big thing. So right here, everything below that red line is what we're going to continue to work on, okay? And especially, how do we keep our hips and our shoulders on plane, right, and in proper direction. But other than that, looking forward to working with you next time. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next lesson.